Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakwadash. The double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS as well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Ainal. The title of the video is The Villain Knows the Hero's Weakness, right? And pretty much I titled that, make sure it's still good. I titled that, just to make it a short title, but ultimately in the movies, right, what do you always see? The villain and the hero, they're fighting against each other, right? In that time, or relating to what Esau against Jacob, Jacob against Esau, right? Esau being the villain, and Jacob being the hero, the elect against the wicked. And in the movies, the hero always has a weakness. And what is it? The people. The villain always what? Throws civilians, off a building or put a civilian, you know, on a train tracks to get hit or something like that. And in our walk, the villain Esau Edom attacks our character. Right here, he attacks us as individuals. Right, the scriptures say, "Put on therefore the elect." So if you're a true brother worshiping Yahweh in spirit and truth, right, you're gonna put on therefore the elect. Right, you're gonna walk and be a certain way. Right, you're gonna have charity. You're gonna have love. You're gonna have a brotherly love. Amongst the brotherhood. You're gonna walk a certain way. Respected, respectful. Different things that you'll do, right? That you basically don't cause the ministry to be blamed also on how you conduct yourself out here in the world. So Esau, the villain, knows that. So he'll throw things out there to make your character bad. And pretty much you just gotta fight. You gotta know it's attack, and you also have to know that you're good. Pretty much that's the point. uh like I said, in the movies, the villain always uses the civilians against the hero. So if you can put yourself in a position to say, well, I'm the hero, because Satan or Esau, of course, the villain is causing me to act out of character or something like that to the civilians, then, you're in a good position, but you have to kind of like bite your tongue. You can't act out of order or whatnot. Example for me, just a small example to give is, I like things clean or whatnot. Just take example for the truck, that I drive. Usually I have my own truck and all of that. I used to wash my truck all the time, keep it clean and fresh and all of that. So because I'm that type of person, now I don't get to wash the truck I'm in that often. Through the spirit, I know why. Why that is, because the villain knows that. Or take, for example, traffic. You got certain laws. The right lane is for, probably slower traffic. The left lane is for faster traffic. And this walk right now, Satan knows that, through the spirit, Lord willing, I'm of the elect. So I would say I'm the hero, right? Satan knows I'm the hero. So, and my mindset being one to, okay, well, let me just, do what I got to do, stay in the right lane, whatnot. Satan will cause you to have to go in the left lane, and then you trying to, you trying to pass the person on the right so you can get back to where you're supposed to be, but now that person is matching your speed. So not only uh, are you affect, you got a situation among yourself, but now you're affecting the civilians. So you got to kind of handle the situation, but that's only because Satan knows that he's the villain, and that you're the hero, right? And you care about certain things, just putting on there for the elect, just walking and being upright, right? The spirit and soul and Satan, the villain, is wicked, is not upright, right? So he doesn't walk, and he's not the same way as you. So pretty much that's the point, through the spirit, the water Yahweh Bashmi Awashai. And I want to grab some good uh, chapters going to about that point, and this is it right here. It says the excellence of love. This is First Corinthians chapter 13. It says, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. Read it again. It says, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. Let me get that in NLT real quick. It says, if I could speak all the languages of the earth and of angels, but didn't love others, I would only be a nosy gong or a clanging chamble, right? And that's Esau Edom. The scriptures say, he that is not good to himself, how can he be good to others, right? And that's Esau Edom. He's wicked as hell. All right. It says in matter of fact, let's get this word charity here, because that's the point. This is kind of the example that I was going into, you know.
Strong's G26, agape. Agape.
All right, agape. It says affection, goodwill, love, belovedness, belovedness, brotherly love, right? Love feast. So just goodwill, charity amongst brothers, right? And just being a goodwill, towards others and a person, how you conduct yourself and carry yourself, not as the scriptures say, children of BL, like wicked individuals. Some people say YNs, now, hey, those YN was the children of BL, right? Wicked individuals. Going back to that First Samuel, the sons of the priest, right? It's like let me go to a little bit. Just since I brought it up. See, I don't remember, was that first or second? Probably second. Slock is first. Let me just look it up. Slock. All right, so it's Second Samuel. I want to find a direct point here. Let me see. Yeah, sons of Eli. Okay. So it's First Samuel actually. Once again, Salakia. First Samuel 2:12. Right. So the sins of Eli's sons. It says, now the sons of Eli were sons of Bilal. They knew not the Lord Yahweh Bashmiawashad. Right. So let me grab this.
Strong's H 1100. Belial. Belial.
Right, BL, right? It's like if I'm pronouncing it wrong. It says worthlessness, worthless, good for nothing, unprofitable, base, fellow, wicked, ruin, destruction, right? So these are the type of individuals you don't want to be, right? What you would call a YN, today, which is wicked ass nigga, all right? So back to what I was talking about. I'll start at the beginning again. 1 Corinthians 13:1 says, though I speak with the tongues of men, and become a tinkling chamber, and don't give a prophecy, have faith, so remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burnt and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity, let me get that word, vaunteth not itself. It is not puffed up, right? It's just like high-minded, proud and all of that. It says, doeth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil. See, that's how you got to be. Just, we're chafed in the spirit, right? We're attacked on every side, and Satan, the villain, comes at us all type of ways, so through the spirit, do the best we can, not trying to say, we just perfect, right? It says, doeth not behave itself unseen, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, think of no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. But we know in part and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in front away with, right? So Yahushua is going to come, right? He's perfect, right? He's in perfect body now, right? And he's going to give us that same glory. and we're going to get that the second covenant, and it's going to be in our inward parts, right? It says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. But now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. No, now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity. Right. So let me grab this in NLT too. Right. So pretty much that's the lesson for the spirit, and I want to just talk about that. It says love is the greatest, and love is what? Keeping the commandments, right? 1 Corinthians 13:1. The scriptures say, for this is the love of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Right. 1 Corinthians 13:1. It says, if I could speak all the language of earth and of angels, but didn't love others, I would only be a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I had the gift of prophecy, and if I could understand all of Yahweh's secret plans and possess all knowledge, and if I had such faith that I could move mountains but didn't love others, I would be nothing. If I gave everything I have to the poor and even sacrifice my body, I could boast about it. But if I didn't love others, I would have gained nothing, right? And that's the point I also want to bring up, because at the end of the day, we don't give a fuck about these heathen, right? 2/3 these regular ass devils, heathen walking around, but we just not out here just causing problems, right? We're men of the Lord. We carry ourselves a certain way, walk a certain way, right? We not YNs or anything like that. It says, if I gave everything I have to the poor and even sacrificed my body, I could boast about it. But if I didn't love others, I would have gained nothing. Yahushua said, who is my mother and brethren, right? Basically the ones that follow Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? It says, love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wronged. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out, right? And we're rejoicing now because the truth, which have been hidden for so long, is bearing fruit now, right? It says, love never gives up, never loses faith. And will last forever. Now our knowledge is partial and incomplete, and even the gift of prophecy reveals only part of the whole picture. As when I was a child, I spoke and thought and read child, but when I grew up, I put away childish things. Now we see things imperfectly, like puzzling reflections in a mirror, but when we will see everything with perfect clarity, all that I know now is partial and incomplete, but then I will know everything completely, just as Yahweh now knows me completely. Three things will last forever: faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is love. So just charity, just walking a certain way, like I pointed out, not being children of BL. Right. So anyway, Lord willing, you would comfort it, and what's the word I'm looking for? Exhort it. Lord willing, you would exhort it, and comfort it, from the scriptures. Lord willing, edified also. Shalom to the whole elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.